Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret. Now, when it comes to Judy Blumes novels, I've read a decent amount of them in my childhood, but I never felt that a lot of them would get solid film adaptations, especially with how the subjects of those novels felt like they'd be difficult to adapt. Well, as you know, times change, and we get an adaptation of probably Judy Blume's most controversial but also most popular book, with Abby Ryder Fortson, Rachel McAdams, and Kathy Bates in the lead roles. Well, let's get to the story, shall we? Abby Ryder Fortson plays Margaret Simon, who is a girl that has a Jewish father and a Christian mother. Barbara, played by Rachel McAdams. So McAdams is planning on having her family move from New York to New Jersey because of her husband's promotion, and on top of Margaret trying to learn about her religious identity because of the fact that she was raised in essentially two worlds, she also tries to discover her identity as a woman as a young woman when she meets a bunch of kids who wish to grow up a bit faster than usual. But that's all I'll say about it. Now, when it comes to a lot of these scenarios, it really makes benefits that the film takes place in the early 1970s. Not only because it happens to be a breath of fresh air from a lot of modern day films, their modern day slang, but it also manages to capture the period of the 1970s really well. The color palettes, the way the people talk, the wardrobes of the people, it really feels like we've stepped into that era and it doesn't feel like it's just a gimmick. On top of that, it really happens to touch on women's issues in a way that I feel anyone can get into. It's not like it's preachy in the sense of modern day politics. It just feels like it's more of a natural storytelling element in this respect. And and since the director also did The Edge of 17 back in 2016, I think she was the absolute right choice for this part, considering that she stays true to the original text of Judy Blume while adding just the right touches to make this adaptation feel like it works very, very well on the big screen, such as montages, and especially the actors' performances. Now, Kathy Bates and Rachel McAdams have been veterans of the industry for a good long while, but it really feels like their roles are lived in. Both Barbara and Sylvia feel like fully realized characters. And on top of that, the guy who plays Margaret's father is pretty good too. It doesn't feel like these characters are only defined by one specific trait, like one's the Jewish father, one's the Christian mother, one's the sassy grandma. It feels like they happen to exist within those tropes while also moving past them in a way. And you could definitely also say that about Margaret herself, who doesn't exactly feel like a Judy Blume self-insert in this case. Abby Ryder Fortson really makes her likable, and when it comes to her screw ups and when it comes to her desires in life, it feels very relatable for a lot of young people, the way I feel. And considering that she was the original actress who played Cassie Lang from the Ant-Man movies, I can definitely see that she got the better end of the deal rather than being in Quantumania. Now, definitely know that this kind of movie isn't for everyone, and I definitely can tell that certain scenes will be a little uncomfortable for some. But it doesn't feel like those scenes are there to downplay the characters and what they're going through, and it doesn't feel like they're done just for the sake of shock value. In many respects, they portrayed the various aspects of women's lives that only women go through as very honest, very relatable, and something that feels natural in a way. That's part of what made the book work for so many people, the way I feel. The way it matter of factly goes through these aspects of life, and it happens to do so while keeping the tone in a very optimistic coming of age story. And that's how this film really feels like. It feels distinctly old fashioned, but in a good way. That's why I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. See you next time.